This one working? Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. Oh, I need better than that. Hello, everybody. Those in the queue, can you hear me? Hello? Wave if you can hear me. There we go, there we go. Okay, I like that introduction. The guy who keeps everybody on the same page. I don't think that's an accurate reflection of me, but I'll take it for now. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the importance of partnerships, particularly with a framework such as this one. It becomes really critical that partnerships are where it all happens or where it all dies, depending on which way you look at it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a number of our panelists so that they can come and walk up to the stage. But for me to be able to do that, I need all of you to do me a favor, okay? My favor is simple. It's really hard to look at so many faces in the room. You kind of get starstruck, okay? So I need you, as I'm welcoming these individuals to come on stage, I need you to clap your hands for them so that they feel, okay, I'm brave, I can do this. Is that something we can do? Is that something we can do? Come on, guys. Is that something we can do? All right, good. So I'm going to start introducing our panelists one by one and ask them to come on the stage. I'll start off with a man who needs no real introduction, to be honest. He's the founder and director of Kasama Arts, a creative group that disseminates and advocates for development. Mr. Peter Chanunda. Can we have a round of applause? Keep clapping until he comes to the stage, guys. Come on. Sure. My next fingerlings, for those who don't know, is baby fish, small fish. Yeah? And he's a leader of a farmer field school. Can I please help me welcome Mr. Wilbrod Msanji. Wait, we need to pause the program a little bit. Guys, we asked, okay. My next panelist is the help me welcome Ms. Evelyn Kayengu. That's what I needed. Okay, I want to seek to make markets work for the poor. Anyway, wherever you're comfortable, to connect with us and share a little bit of the work that you do and the importance of partnerships in driving some of the change that we would like to see. For me, start off by introducing yourself and then answering the question as we go through it, okay?
Hello, my name is Chinunda Peter. I'm coming from Kasama Theatre Arts. Thank you.
Whilst you're at it, Peter, I want to ask you a question. Can you please sort of share with us how a creative platform such as theatre can be leveraged to educate communities on climate change?
Okay, thank you. Cultural arts, the one that we do, we perform drama and dance, cultural dances. It translates the complex information of smart agriculture into a simpler way that will make a common community. What we do is that the drama would pick the reality of what is happening and then give to a community to understand. Because sometimes when we just discuss, people don't feel it. But not until when they see it in an action way. And then they will find out best they can find solutions. And at the same time, as we do this theater, we don't only do it ourselves. There's what we call theater with the people, where we would want to interact with the same farmers. We interact with the community and make sure that even when they are doing the productions, they feel part of it. They own the production, that it's coming from them. And then they will find the best solutions to the challenges that they're facing. I think I'll end there for now.
And that gives me a nice segue into the next person. Maybe Mr. Wilbrod, maybe you can help us a little bit. Can you perhaps shed some light on what role in your business particularly, that partnerships can play in ensuring success in climate smart agriculture, particularly as it relates to aquaculture and your experience with ICRA?
Good morning. I'm Mr. Ubrodu Musanshi, coming from Mansa Wapra province, the director of OPOIS, Farms and Enterprises. Yeah, the laws we are doing there to promote climate smart agriculture. First of all, we have set up the objectives. One of the objectives is exploitation of natural resources that are supporting the ecosystem. The other one is we are also promoting sustainable agriculture with a good set which is ongoing. I call it like a bad schools, a bad attitude of destroying and exploiting the nature. So these bad schools, I call them a school of exploitation of natural resources, which has been inherited from generation to generation. And then the other one is the school of destruction. So we want to address this by bringing another knowledge into the society.
And thank you for that. So maybe this brings me a nice segue to you, Evelyn. Maybe you can share a little bit about your experience with working with farmers, particularly as it relates to microfinance, and how all these pieces tie together to help them access better technologies. Yeah.
So I'll start with that intro, just introducing myself as Evelyn Kaingu, co-founder and CEO of Lupia. And Lupia is a financial institution that was built to build a bank for SMEs. And if we were going to build a bank for SMEs in Zambia, the biggest sector for SMEs is agriculture. And so we had to understand this demographic. We basically had to learn everything. And so we spent basically the past 3, 4, 5 years trying to build the best credit scoring models for farmers. And while we've done that, climate change has happened. We found ourselves in a space where we've targeted the right value chains, we've extended the financing, but then what happens now when we have an extended farming or rain season, and we need to get our money back, and unfortunately the farmer says the moisture content is still too high, and we have to wait and it has to dry before we can actually sell it. And so these are just some of them, just the credit, the agency now to realize that it's beyond, we've now understood what a soybean farmer needs and their cycles, but what happens when the rainfall has extended its periods and they can't harvest at the right time, and it's now time to collect, right? Because we're microfinance, we're the space that is going to the smallholder farmers and extending this financing. So what do we start to do? A sector like this that we've spent so much on dryers, starting to look at what is a drought report farmers and give them sensitization, extending a solar irrigation. We were coming into the space. Fortunately, or you can say unfortunately, the drought had happened, and pump was what we could help a farmer with. And so as an entity, in our small way, we've been able to sensitize farmers in how they continue to farm in times like this where there's been a drought, let's farm. But now we've moved away from a season where the wells are full, the streams are full. How do we continue to sell smart climate solutions, right? And so again, we've now transitioned a farmer to how do we look at certain resistant products, how we start to look at solar dryers. Do they need it? Do they not? And any farmer would rather wait. But if microfinance is going to win in this space and actually start to scale agriculture, which is the biggest SME sector in the economy, we need to start being intentional about looking at the entire value chain beyond when it's financing, when it's farming, when it's time to harvest, when it's time to sell, and all the challenges that happen in between, and how do we start to support farmers in this space?
I think the work that you do is commendable. I think it's to Lottie. Just a quick question: smart agriculture and empowering and entrepreneurship in Zambia, and speak to some cases of how we've interacted together.
Thank you very much. I'm coming from ID, as introduced. My name is Lottie Senkwe, where I'm the programs director. IDE is a not-for-profit organization. It's an NGO, and it's an NGO which is coming from America. That's where income and livelihood opportunities. We believe that builds markets at the last mile, which enable the poor to participate as either buyers or sellers of something. IDE does not directly interact with beneficiaries. What we do is we build entrepreneurs, we identify entrepreneurs who are at the last mile, and these are the ones who deliver what is called a market systems development approach. So in delivering, supporting a climate smart agriculture, there's a system behind it. And this system is talking about delivering solutions using market actors. So ID leverages a lot in its intervention, the privates, their money, and we also want to leverage the expertise. But what is important in doing all this is, are we delivering value proposition to the private sector? That is very, very important. In our approach of building markets at the last mile, we want to achieve two basic things. We want to develop what we call by the rural poor. We've come up with a system where we first identify which subsectors within agriculture offer the best opportunity for the farmer in terms of climate resilience, but also incomes. So ID is focusing under rain-fed. We've identified legumes, but also seed crops. So we encourage farmers to go into there because that offers a higher opportunity both for income, but also climate smart opportunities. We also, once we've identified these value chains, we then, how can the market help to solve these problems? Then we look at who is having these solutions in the market. And we then try to bridge this gap between at what we call the last mile. So these are difficult to reach places. So in building the supply network, development of an entrepreneur at the last mile becomes very important because this is now our scale agent, but also this is also our change agent. And this entrepreneur we're building at the last mile to connect to these big companies in town, they are not doing this for free. They are also doing it because there's something in it for them. So that brings in sustainability. They know that the more farmers they can reach, the more money they can reach. The more services they are connected to in terms of companies, they know that their profitability is going up. So that is an inbuilt system which ensures that there is the resilience in the building of the market system. There is also competitiveness in the building of the market system. Mm-hmm. It's important that when you're building markets at the last mile, you are not promoting monopoly by business. So that is on the supply side. But for a market to develop, you also need to look at the demand side. And so we look at also how do we support market uptake. Mm-hmm. And over the time, we've come to use or buy into the model of village savings and lending associations, fund, which is very important for the private sector. One of the challenges they face when they get to the last mile is how do we aggregate demand? Secondly is how do you translate this demand into effective demand? Yeah. And this is where the savings becomes important. One of the biggest challenges we have with our small-scale farmers, sorry to say, is also around mindset. So there's this culture of your game right. So farming as a business, to talk about self-reliance, to talk about financial lessons so that people begin to understand that if you want to succeed in farming, you have to take it as a business and there are certain practices and conducts which have to be adhered to. This platform is also important because another challenge farmers face at the last mile are to do with
issues you raised. I think now is a good time to stop. And I want to thank all of you for making the time to share a little bit of your expertise and your experience. Colleagues, help me get a round of applause.